Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Starting with our game news topics of the day. And our first game news topic of the day is regarding Costco has finally, I guess, commented on the Xbox console removal from their stores. Now, mind you, they're removing it from all their stores in all 13 countries that they have worldwide. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the details. So here's an exchange that Destin Lair had with Costco. Just called Costco about Xbox stock. I was told that they will no longer be carrying Xbox consoles. We don't have any plans going forward to carry any Xbox consoles. Says it has been a business decision. They did say they have great deals on Switch and PlayStation though, so I think that's pretty funny that that's something that they stated. The move closes following Microsoft's second Xbox Series S and X price increase in 5 months, with entry level models raising to $400 and premium edition hitting $800, um, prompting speculation about weak demand. So they think because of the weak demand of the consoles, they've updated the price so people have to pay more so they can make a bit of a profit for people that are interested in the console. But while Xbox exit Costco shelves, the retail continues to stock PlayStation and Nintendo Switch products, signaling a structural shift in its gaming offerings. So yeah, a lot going on there, guys. It's going to be removing from all 13 countries. So I think they've already removed it from their website. So they're just going to get rid of whatever stock they have or move it to another retailer at this point. But yeah, it looks like Xbox will no longer be at Costco's, and I think it's just due to that price hike, like they said. I'm sure that having two price hikes in what is it in 5 months is kind of ridiculous, and I think that Costco knows that, and Xbox is already falling off with them putting their exclusive games on PlayStation. So at this point, there's really no point in holding on to them unless they make some changes. But let me know what you guys think of this. What do you think of Costco's comments saying that they are not going to be doing it and it is a business decision? Do you agree with that decision, or are you guys regretting it? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, moving on to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding Resident Evil Village, Biohazard, and Requiem is confirmed for the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's go ahead and take a look here. There was just a new trailer that was released, so if you guys are interested in seeing that, I'll have that in the description down below. But while I read you guys the details of this Nintendo stuff, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. While I read you guys the description of the what's going on with Nintendo, you guys could go ahead and take a look at this trailer if you would like. Anyways, Capcom. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure we have no sound so I could read to you guys. Okay. Capcom originally had no plans to bring Resident Evil titles to Switch 2, but internal tests with Village impressed developers enough to greenlight ports for Requiem, Village, and Biohazard. Producer Masato Komazawa, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, confirmed that the Switch 2 version of Requiem is identical to other platforms in a good way. We'll see about that. Offering full console quality gameplay on the go. The announcement marks a major boost in Switch 2 third-party lineups, with Capcom embracing the platform's capabilities and teasing more franchise content to come. So I'm assuming that that means they're probably going to be bringing other Resident Evil remakes to the Switch 2 at some point. Now, mind you, just because Resident Evil Village is working well on the Switch 2, I'm sure that they still gonna have to lower the quality and things like that because uh, Resident Evil Village came out on the PS4, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I want to double check that. Uh, let's see if it came out on the PS4. Resident Evil Village PS4. Yes, it did. It came out on the PS4 and PS5, but it was released on the PS4, and I believe it was also released on the Nintendo Switch. So it makes sense that they're going to try to bring these games to the new Nintendo Switch 2, since it's able to perform. But it will be a lower quality product than it would be on the PS5 or the Xbox or PC. So just keep that in mind. But I do think it's good that they are bringing Resident Evil to the Switch 2. Great for them to bring their product to more eyes, especially for people that are Nintendo exclusive players, which there are some players that do that. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Village, Biohazard, and Requiem to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2? And are you hoping they eventually have Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 come to the Switch 2 as well? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic, everyone's been talking about it since this weekend, is the Battlefield 6 live action trailer takes aim at Call of Duty and makes fun of them, which I really enjoy. I love it when companies make fun of each other. You know, Pepsi and Coke making fun of each other. I think it was it Sony and Xbox making fun of each other in their ads. I think Nintendo did that to Sega at one point, or Sega to Nintendo. But it's always entertaining to see two companies make fun of each other during their advertisement. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, I highly recommend you guys do. Let's go ahead and read you guys some of the details. Um, EA's Battlefield 6 trailer mimics Call of Duty's celeb filled ads featuring Zac Efron, Jimmy Butler, and others, only to blow them up mid speech. Pivot to gritty realism and with taglines only in Battlefield. Battlefield 6 launches on October 10th, ahead of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 on November 14th. So if you guys haven't seen it, I can't show you guys the whole trailer because YouTube, bit of a bitch, as I've always mentioned. I will show you guys this little bit on mute, sadly. Oh, wait. I thought I had it up. There we go. Let me rewind that a bit. So we got this trailer here, which really emphasizes what Call of Duty used to do with the, gritty looking guns, the things hanging off the side of the guns, the character outfits being celebrities and things like that. The very kiddish feel, and then just boom. and then to more of the realistic fight, realistic Warzone, realistic-ish Warzone fight. But yeah, I think the trailer was awesome. I love when two companies aren't afraid to make fun of each other. Hopefully, Call of Duty returns the sentiment before their launch on November 14th, so we can see some back and forward between the two companies. But seeing as Battlefield 6 is going to be releasing in the next, what is it, 10, 11 days, 12 days. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening there when it comes to Call of Duty's trailer. But let me know what you guys think about the trailer in the comment down below. Did you enjoy them making fun of each other, or were you hoping to see something a little different from the Battlefield 6 uh, campaign, marketing campaign? Thank you guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is some big news regarding EA. EA, which is Electronic Arts, has been acquired for $55 billion by a Saudi-led consortium, with a large cash takeover, with the largest all cash takeover in gaming history. This comes to us from Game Informer. So let's break this down for you guys. EA will be taken private. If you don't know what that means, so there's publicly traded companies, which EA currently is, where you can go and buy shares of the company, and then there's privately owned companies that aren't publicly shared. It's mostly owned percentage between stakeholders and certain people like that. So they're going to delist it from being publicly traded, so you can buy stocks, and it's going to be privately owned at that point. So let's go ahead and continue here. EA will be taken private in a $55 billion all-cash bid from a consortium led by Saudi Arabia Public Investment Funds. Sorry. If you don't know what a consortium is basically a lot of different companies in one, essentially. So it could be like if let's see, what's a good example? If all the theaters came in under one umbrella, that would be a consortium of theaters at that point. If I hope I'm not mistaken in how I understand consortiums. Anyways, moving along. Alongside Silver Lake and Affinity Partners, stakeholders will receive 210 per share, a 25% premium, so 25% more than their shares are currently valued at as of September 15th, 2025, if I'm not mistaken. CEO Andrew Wilson will remain in place as EA's continues operating from Red City, aiming to accelerate innovation and expand its entertainment footprint through the consortium's global network. The deal follows years of layoffs and studio closures at EA and arrives just ahead of major releases like Battlefield 6, Star Wars Zero Company, and future titles including Mass Effect and Iron Man. Excuse me, guys. The deal is expected to close in the the first quarter of fiscal year 2027. So early next year, it looks like this deal may be going through. We're gonna have to wait to see how the government approves it and all this stuff. So very interesting to see this happen to a company like EA, and we're gonna see a lot of different EA franchises just go private essentially. So don't forget that not only do they have Battlefield, not only do they have Star Wars with licensing with Disney, Mass Effect, they're working on an Iron Man game, but we also have a lot of the Madden EA. What are the I think they have NHL. I think they have FIFA. So just a lot of different games going to be coming to this new, I guess, studio. Or I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. I know in 2024 they had layoffs, so I'm curious if they were already in discussions to be sold. So that's why they laid off people. So sometimes companies can lay off people or make certain adjustments so they're more valuable for a sale. And it might look like that's what they've been leading to, because I know they laid off like 600 employees back in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. And then this year, there's been minor little layoffs and some studio closures. So very interesting to see what's going to happen here. So we'll keep an eye out in early 2027 to see how the Saudi Arabia consortium takes over EA and what they're going to do with the company. I'm sure there'll be quite a bit of announcements. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have any shares in EA, and are you happy you guys are going to be getting a premium for those shares? All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is PlayStation characters going to be coming to Magic the Gathering. And I know this isn't necessarily console or gaming focused, but I do thought this was very interesting, seeing as Magic the Gathering has been doing Spider-Man, they did Lord of the Rings in the past, so it's nice to see them do other kind of games and stuff like that. And for have PlayStation come in some of these arts, some of the art here is really fun. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. So before we take a look at some of the art, this is the main image that they got, which looks really awesome. I want this Kratos was. I'm not one for grading cards and stuff like that, but I want this Kratos one at a PSA 10. That is my goal. Anyways, the upcoming Secret Lair Superdrop launches on October 27th, featuring legendary creature cards. Oh, sorry, creature cards from PlayStation franchise, including God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon Forbidden West, and Ghost of Tsushima. Sorry, I'm so used to saying Ghost of Yote now that that's coming out. Wizards of the Coast partnered with Sony Studios like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studios to faithfully adapt characters, items, and locations in Magic cards with unique mechanics and stunning art. The PlayStation Drop joins MTG's growing list of pop culture collaborations alongside themes like Fallout, Assassin's Creed, Final Fantasy, Spider Man, and the upcoming expansions for Star Trek and The Hobbit. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other individual art pieces here. Starting with Joel. Now, I've never played Magic the Gathering. I tried to get into it and failed miserably. So maybe I'm gonna have to give it another chance once I get some of these cards. So, but some of this artwork looks really awesome. We got an Ellie one here. Oh, we got Abby here. Another Ellie, but older. I'm not sure what these cards are capable of doing. Hopefully, we can get someone in on the show that knows Magic the Gathering better, so they can break this down for you guys. I'll see if I can find somebody. Kratos God of War, which I cannot wait for. He looks awesome. This art design looks sick. So I want this one as a PSA 10 and this one as a PSA 10. Oh God, I would love both of those. I'm a weirdo. I would also like this one too, just to have, because I love God of War so much. Anyways, guys, we also got Aloy and Jin Sakai. Now, I know there's going to be other artworks. I don't think this is going to be the only ones that they got. So I cannot wait to see what other things are available for this Sony drop. and what other characters we're going to be seeing. Like, I'm curious if we're going to be getting like Thor from God of War, or if we're going to be getting Zeus or anything of that sort. So I'd be very curious how that's going to all pan out. But let me know what you guys think of PlayStation Secret Lair dropping for Magic the Gathering, and if you guys are interested in any of these cards like I am. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, guys, and that does it for our game news topic of the day. We're going to go ahead and move on to our movie news topic. And since it is a Monday, we're going to be talking about the past weekend's box office. Now, mind you, I feel like these past month and a half has just been a lackluster in the movies, and I don't know why. I just haven't gone. But let's go ahead and take a look here. It looks like it's official that one battle after another has broken Warner Brothers' streak for $40+ million opening weekends, with a $22.4 million, but it did make number one. Number two was Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, with 13.7. Number three was The Conjuring, The Last Rites at $6.86 million. And number four, The Strangers Chapter 2 at 5.9 million. And number five, we have Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle is sticking in there with 4.8 million. Number six, Him drops to 3.6. Seven, The Last Walk drops to 3.4. Number eight, Downton Abbey, the grand final at 3.3. And then we had a release at number 9 of the Spider-Man trilogy, coming in at $2.2 million. And at number 10, Dead of Winter at $1 million, guys. So let me know what you guys thought was the one that stood out the most. The one that, of course, I think is doing absolutely phenomenal worldwide wise would be the Demon Slayer one. Let's go ahead and take a look here what it's doing. It looks like it's made $605 million worldwide, and it's still going. It'll probably end its run somewhere around the $620 million mark, depending on how it continues to hold in the US box office. But it's doing absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure there's very much celebrating over there at the studio, and I have a feeling they're going to be rushing the next chapter out sooner than hopefully it's says that it's going to take them. The other interesting one is The Conjuring: The Last Rites is coming up on $435 million worldwide. It might end its run passing the $450 million mark, which is absolutely phenomenal for this franchise and one of their most successful movies, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, disappointingly, I don't think Him is doing all that well, even with the producer Jordan Peele coming behind it with only $21 million globally. But I do think this was a lower budget film, so hopefully they're happy over there. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about the weekend box office. What stood out to you the most? Oh, before we move forward, one battle after another, while it did make 22 million domestically, worldwide it's sitting at $48 million. So while I think it had $180 million budget, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully it gets a chance to make their money back, because I'm sure that they are the movie that was crazy expensive like this is not going to happen much often if people don't go watch something like this. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. What box office stood out to you the most? All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on over to our next movie news topic. I cannot talk today. It looks like we had a Zootopia 2 trailer 2 drop today. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, mind you, I'm not a big Zootopia fan, but I did enjoy this trailer. It seems that they're introducing more of a kind of like a racial thing going on with lizards, with snakes and other creatures of that sort. But it does look like a fun trailer. I think it's very interesting. I'm super curious as to why that they wanted to drop this trailer right now. I thought they were going to wait a little bit to drop it with. Oh my god, what's that movie? Hold on, guys. It's gonna bother me. Unless I'm mistaken, there's no movie coming out. Anyways, guys, moving on. I did think the trailer was very cute and very interesting. I did like some of the funny gags here, like right here, what they were doing in this barbershop, I guess you can say. The introduction to the snake character looks very interesting, and how the whole thing starts. And that's what this trailer was supposed to be for, to introduce you guys to what's going on in the story. And it looks like the snake arrives and people are trying to capture him, but Bunny Hopkins is very interested in seeing what's going on, hearing him out, and trying to rescue him. So yeah, it does look like an interesting movie, and I'm curious how it's all going to pan out. But the funniest part for me in this trailer was the ending with this other lizard creature. Hold on, guys. I can't play the whole thing for you guys here, But this guy right here, when he takes off running, I'm not gonna lie, I started dying. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I am looking forward to checking out this movie. I know my lady is gonna be very interested in seeing it, so we'll be sure to check that out. Let me know what you guys thought about this trailer in the comments down below. I will have the link for it in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out for yourselves. All right, guys. All that being said, let's move over to our next topic. And our next topic is regarding Bette Midler has joined Jonah Hill and Kristen Wiig in a comedy called The Cutoff, set for a uh, July 2026 release date. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Bette Midler, absolutely awesome actress. If you guys don't know who Bette Midler is, just look up her filmography. She's absolutely phenomenal. But Bette Midler will play a matriarch opposite Jonah Hill and Kristen Wiig in Cutoff, a Warner Brothers comedy about wealthy siblings cut off from their parents. Hill co writes and will direct the film, which begins shooting this fall. One of the few major films shooting in California, Cutoff benefits from a $10 million tax credit with global theatrical releases slated for with the global theatrical release slated for July 17, 2026. The two-time Oscar nominee continues her late career surge following Hocus Pocus 2, sitting in a bar with cake, and Fabulous Four, adding another high-profile role to her six-decade legacy. So this movie sounds very interesting. To see her as the rich monarch of two siblings in Jonah Hill and Kristen Wiig, and them being cut off from their funds and money, and to see how they navigate the real world sounds pretty fucking hilarious to me. And I think Bette Midler really brings like a gravitas to the role, and everything she does from Hocus Pocus to the First Wives Club, she just really stands out and does phenomenal. She even has a cameo in What Women Want, and her standout cameo was absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen her in a role that I did not enjoy her in. She's absolutely wonderful, and I have a brother who absolutely loves her, especially her music. So I'm happy to see her continue to get work, and hopefully we get to see her in this awesome comedy, which sounds pretty fun. And I think Jonah Hill as a director, I'm not sure what else he has directed, but I would be interested to see how he does as a director. And if he has directed any other films, I'm interested in checking those out as well. So we'll have to figure that out and look into that. But let me know what you guys think of this project. Are you interested in The Cutoff? And does it sound interesting to you guys? All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic is regarding Brad Bird's long awaited Ray Gunn entry produced by Skydance. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So, Brad Bird, mostly known for a lot of different projects, but mostly known for The Incredibles as the director. But let's go ahead and take here. Brad Bird Brad Bird's passion project, Ray Gunn, a futuristic detective story originally conceived in 1990s, is now in production at Skydance Animation for Netflix, with John Ratzenberg confirmed to be recording dialogue and Michael Giacchino on board for the score. The animated film follows the last human private eye, navigating a alien populated world with early concept art hinting at a sleek noir inspired aesthetic and blends classic detective tropes with sci-fi flair. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some of this art here. So here are some of the concept arts. I think these are concept arts from the early 90s when the movie was originally being developed. So I don't think these are modern takes on the art. So I think these are just older ones. We also have this look at some of this art from our opening here behind Brad Bird and or the Ray Gun logo here, which looks very interesting, very noir-esque. So I'm very curious how it's going to turn out animation wise. But Brad Bird is an absolutely phenomenal director, so I'm sure he's going to do a great job with this. Brad Bird is still writing the Incredibles 3, so you don't got to worry there. Though Peter Sohan, forgive me for pronouncing his name wrong, is now directing the Pixar sequel. Bird remains attached as screenwriter, continuing his creative legacy with the franchise that earned over 1.8 billion across its first two installments. So yeah, while he won't be directing the Incredibles movies, he is still on for writing, which I think is good. at least for the story. I'm not sure much about the director currently taking over for him in The Incredibles, but I do think that I'm sure they wouldn't put someone bad in this role, and I'm sure the story is absolutely solid. But it's exciting to see what Brad Bird can do with a passion project. If I'm not mistaken, I've never seen Brad Bird do a passion project. I know he's done a lot of animated films. He wanted to go into live action and did one a great Mission Impossible movie, and then he returns to animation. So I'm curious what a animated passion project in Ray Gunn will look like coming from. The only kind of down bad part about it is the fact that it's a Netflix film. Oh, we were hoping it'd be released in theaters, but it looks like it's going to be straight to Netflix. But we'll see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think about Ray Gunn in the comments down below. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and move over to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic is regarding Master of the Universe leaked trailer reveals He-Man's transformation and faithful cartoon aesthetic. Now, mind you, this isn't an actual leaked trailer. It's more leaked information on the trailer. Some people got a chance to see a leak, and they kind of gave us a breakdown in the description, which is right here for the actual description. It opens to Prince Adam taking a friend on Earth, or talking to a friend on Earth, and they are confused because Cringery, I don't know how to pronounce that, is there, and they discuss Green Tiger. Yeah, you guys can read this for yourself. I don't like the way that they broke that down, but I'm gonna read to you guys what I wrote down. Okay, a leaked description from the test screenings reveals that Prince Adam's journey from Earth to Eternia, Jesus, my dyslexia is kicking in again. Anyways, culminates in his iconic "I have the power" transformation into He-Man, with brief glimpses of Skeletor and Evelina. I hope I'm saying that right. Despite unfinished VFX, the trailer reportedly captures the spirit of the original cartoons, with Skeletor's design praised for its accuracy, and Eternia is heavily featured. Directed by Travis Knight from Bumblebee fame, guys. If you haven't seen Bumblebee, Travis Knight did an absolutely phenomenal job. And I also think Travis Knight directed Kubo and the Two Strings, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I don't want to give you guys the wrong information here. Let's double check that. Travis Knight, he directed, let's see here. Oop, oop. Yep, he directed Kubo and the Two Strings and Bumblebee. So his two directorial movies are absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, the Amazon MGM reboot hits theaters on June 5th, 2026, with a teaser trailer likely dropping before the year's end. Nicholas Galizian stars as He-Man alongside Jared Leto as Skeletor. If you don't know who that guy is, he's the one in that Anne Hathaway movie on Amazon, that Love Affair one where he's the singer. So yeah, guys, I think because we got this leaked trailer and got some information from this, that they're probably going to not rush but get going on an actual release for a trailer. Most likely going to be dropping with either Predator or Avatar. So we'll have to see what ends up happening there. But this trailer really needs to pop, especially because He-Man is, kind of fallen off over the years, especially with the newer audiences. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with this. But if you guys are interested in knowing the actual description of the trailer, you guys could go ahead and read it for yourself in the article down below. Would have read it for you, but my dyslexia is kicking in and I just don't feel like it. Anyways, guys, that being said, that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.